Laser tag employees of Reddit, what was the weirdest things you've seen happen in the arena? During a birthday party for a teenager, a 16-year-old girl took a sheet on the carpet. She was also the birthday girl. Don't know if it's weird, but someone got drunk, climbed onto one of the set pieces, and rode it like a horse, grabbing onto the fire sprinkler head above for support, and then proceeded to rip it out of the ceiling, causing the whole arena to flood into the cell phone store below. Thousands of dollars of damage. We followed that up by implementing a strict zero tolerance policy on alcohol. Also, the guys we hired to paint the arena walls all space themed had penises all over the place. It was very dark in there, so easy to miss them. Took a while before we found them all. Not an employee, but a player. Back when I was early 20s, me and a few guys went laser tag. Since there was only a couple of us, we got paired with a group of kids and some of their parents. During the match, one of the fathers had looped his arm through his daughter's vest and was using her as a shield, and she was just getting carried around like a little shooting shield. Still makes me laugh. Worked at a small family-run laser tag for about 3 years. I saw so much weird stuff over the years, and with 3 floors in pretty much total darkness, only lighting was of lights, I knew I was pretty much bound to find weird stuff going on. The worst thing I happened to find was a group of friends, about 7 or 8 people, came in to play a few games. Fast forward to their second game, and as the game is going on, I walk around the corner to a couple with her hands down his pants and his hand down her pants, fully going at it. Obviously I had to ask them to leave, although I did want to know what made them even want to do that when there were kids around too. The most SFW weird thing I saw was probably 3 or 4 dads had unenthusiastically joined the game and found them in a large open space on the ground floor trying to beat each other doing handstands. I later found out they were dads of kid gymnasts. Not poop or sex. When I was young, my family went to play a laser tag. This was in New Orleans. Mostly kids were playing that day, but there was also an older guy, maybe 25. This older guy was competitive. He wanted to win bad. Here I am, probably 13 years old, running around like James Bond from N64 GoldenEye, using the structures to cover myself. I round a corner looking for prey, and what do I find? The older guy, coming at me full speed backwards, bent over, with his gun between his legs. Ass first. His strategy was simple yet effective. If he shoots between his legs, no one can shoot his chest or back. He was an unbeatable as gunner. Worst game ever. Sex. Condoms. Tampons, used and unused. Poop. All of these things can be found in laser tag arenas. The weirdest thing I've seen happen was when I was working in the arena and a kid shit in the middle of the game. Some poor soul game running through and slipped in it. That was fun. Second weirdest was finding sheety underwear in the bathroom. It looked like the scene from Dumb and Dumberer. Third weirdest was the car fire in the parking lot, where I had to pull a kid from a car seat. Those places are black holes of normalcy. Everything is weird there. One day, a birthday party comes in. Everything went normal until the match ended and everyone had to come back. They all made it back and had cake, except for 2 little dildos who thought it would be hilarious to camp in one of the corners. Everyone noticed they were gone and panicked. 2 other employees went looking for them in the arena and found them. What was strangest is they decided to make a sheet and piss hole if they were gonna be camping there. That was no fun to clean though. Doctor, couple kids took a sheet and I had to clean it. Former arcade employee, worked there for a year. We had birthday kid vomited, didn't tell employees. Had the next group come in and the girl slipped and fell face first into it. Kids who screamed Fortnite, then proceeded to fall down when they got shot, crawling around and begging to be revived. I told one he could just get up as the vest's power back on. He just looked at me and said he was playing Fortnite. A kid came out, karma sheet, nose obviously broken, and blood pouring everywhere. Said a kid had hit him with a gun. Filed an incident report. Never heard from the kid again. A Hispanic family came in. A lady fainted and the family started screaming at me to get them some alcohol so she would wake up. I did a lot of wingwoman work there. Oftentimes girls or guys would ask me to put them on the same team as someone they liked, and it was cute seeing the results. I wasn't an employee, but I was playing laser tag against a group of random kids, and while in the match I saw a kid who took off his laser vest and all his clothes down to his undies, and was running around shooting at people with his laser gun, with the vest dragging by the cord behind him on the floor. Wasn't sure how to react, but he got me with his gun as I wasn't prepared for that. Not an employee, but my husband, and I got engaged at a laser tag arena. He invited about 40 friends to play a massive game and use the code name "Will you marry me" so that I saw it when he tagged me. Worked at one when I was a teenager. Guy came in, sat in a corner and shot up when nobody was looking. Then sat in a corner and was found a few hours later dead from an overdose. Was only found when a kid brushed up against him and told us about it. Not an employee, but I saw a kid, like 9, take out a group of 16-year-olds at me, and my group of friends had been trying to eliminate for like an hour. I saw a kid lick another kid's face after he shot him. He also moaned like he just came in his jorts. Kids in Oklahoma are weird. When our time was up, we asked one of the employees to stand beside the wall and look at it, and we executed him. Went in with a group of old army buddies, 2 were qualified sharpshooters, and got absolutely wrecked by a team of 10 to 12-year-olds. Little bastards were so fast. Many years ago, because I assume watching kids hunt down and shoot their classmates is now less of an appropriate birthday activity than it once was, we did periodic lock-ins where people could pay a flat fee and run though as many games as they wanted to keep it fresh and keep people from just camping the corners. We ran different game modes interspaced with regular games plus served pizza and had the arcade. Most people would run a few games and take a break during one of the normal tag games to get some food or chat. A group of 3 teenage boys had run every single game for 3 hours and were just behaving oddly. Their scores were low. They didn't seem to care which team they were on. I followed them, they saw me, and played normally if half-heartedly. I waited another 2 games and then sent in some regulars as better spies. About 2 minutes and the lights come up because someone popped the emergency door. The kids had 4 reasons known only to stupid teenagers removed a chain link gate that kept people out of the fog machine area and had been adding weed to the machine, apparently convinced they were going to make everyone high. One time a 7-year-old kid came in with his mom for his birthday party, all excited. They brought party favors and all kinds of stuff. Time went by and no one had showed up, and he got a little sadder every minute. After about 30 minutes, no one had come at all and they left. It's been 25 years, and I still don't have birthday parties anymore. That's when they get to play boss mode. I worked at one for a summer and luckily they kept 2 staff for a fairly low traffic place. If anyone came through without Evans or with a really small group, they got to play against someone, so one of us 2 employees would give the tutorial and explain they had to beat the boss. Staff, best 2 of 3 or however many games they bought. Staff would always demolish first round, but then really ham it up and lose badly the rest of the games. You could tell they knew, but they like it anyway. I had my wedding at a venue with laser tag, so I played against an 8-year-old's birthday party. In my wedding dress. Definitely lost. Not a laser tag arena, and maybe not the weirdest, but there is this Nerf dart arena kind of close to me, and I used to go there oft. For the longest time they only had 3 kinds of darts: the regular orange, yellow, blue darts, the green discs, and the red mega darts to use. But Nerf introduced the yellow ball darts. They're basically a small yellow foam golf ball, and they were a game changer. Now these things could be fired accurately all the way across the arena, and most guns can hold 40 of them in a clip, so they were used a lot for ammunition. But they have another use, one that was found quickly. If you stepped on one and weren't paying attention, it could easily make you fall on your butt. So we would throw them into the middle of the arena where people were running the fastest and make the person fall on their face. This was mainly used in Capture the Flag, but it works in all the other game modes too. TL. Doctor, little yellow foam balls made an Nerf arena into a deadly game of Twister. Edit. It used to say 2 kinds of darts, because I forgot about the discs. Not a laser tag employee, but had a weird experience at one of my own birthday parties. I may have been 10 at the time, and we were about to go in, when an employee stops us, says they accidentally double booked, and would we mind playing with another group. More's the merrier, I thought. Then the other party comes in, and takes of their UK Territorial Army uniforms to gear up. So there we are, a bunch of children playing laser tag with a bunch of actual soldiers. I would love to say my good score was a result of being a decent shot, but in reality I was a 10-year-old and managed to get a crawl space in which nobody could see me in the dark. I also imagine that they were going easy on me as I was the birthday boy's deadit. People are asking me if a specific poster was involved. Honestly, it was like 16 years ago, and it was dark. I think the guys involved could be standing right in front of me, and I would have no idea if it was them. Saw a couple of teens, high as kites, spend the entire 20 minutes staring at a strobe light, not even holding phasers, just serving as points farm for others. I was employed by a laser tag place for a few months in my teens. After working several nights a week, the weirdest thing I saw was my first pay stub. It consisted of a check for $70 accompanied by a bag of game tokens as my compensation. I did not stay there long. Two kids were playing in the arena. Every few seconds you would hear a shot. Then for a minute straight nothing. 2 minutes, nothing. Then it resumes. Next game. Someone found a turd in the arena. One of the managers screwed one of the employees back there when we were closing. Lots of people run and get clocked in the head with a laser tag gun. Only a few bleed. Some days we didn't care too much and just stood by the door playing on our cell phone the entire shift. In the wintertime, the empty business space in the strip mall next to us had a pipe burst. It flooded into laser tag, and we had to shut down. I was frequently grabbed and used as a human shield. Saw a huge pile of vomit and laser tag, and decided it wasn't my job as I was getting off in 15 minutes. 2 minutes before I got off, someone else found it. Still had to clean it. This thing looked like someone ate a large pizza and threw it up. Edit. I have other stories. I ran the laser tag arena for 2 years, before managing the fun center itself for 3 years as the head manager. If you have questions or want more stories, let me know. A friend of mine told me he once caught 2 men engaged in passionate anal sex in one of those dark blacklight arenas. Bit late, but one time a family of 4, mum, dad and 2 boys aged 6 I think, were playing when all of a sudden I hear a scream. I run to where I heard it to be met with the 2 kids of the family covered in their own sheet and another kid around 10 or 11 screaming his ass off in terror as the 2 kids tried to share their poop with him. I quickly called over the parents, who ended up having to drag their sheet covered kids out of the room, leaving the place being shut down for a week and 3 sets of equipment worth £240 being thrown out. Oh god. The list is endless. Source: worked at a Euro equivalent for 2 years during college. Multiple couples having sex in the arena, especially under the stairs. People knocking themselves out in various places, even though running was not allowed. A gang tried to steal 20 setups for the game by signing up and bolting during the safety talk. They were eventually caught when they realized they didn't have the computer system to run the games, and called the suppliers of them game and asking them how to run it. Stealing props from the arena, taking dumps and urinating in the corners. Lots of kids throwing up with excitement and exertion. Staff would stay on at night and throw parties in the arena. Lots of weed, beer and sex. This post is made for me. I worked at a laser tag place about a year, and I've seen some funny and weird sheet. Guy wanted a head start, so he ran in there and wouldn't respond to my calls for him to get out and wait. Had to search for home for 20 minimums. Kids beat another kid with a gun. That one was hard to explain to the parents, and her angry land wail of pure Karen was watching from the observation room when her kid punched another kid. So she proceeded to run out of the arena and scream at the child, who was on the ground crying after getting punched. Former Laser Quest employee. I never had to clean up poop or vomit, but my coworkers did. I got fairly lucky there. Since I did a lot of the tech and cleanup in the maze, I found a lot of random things. Never found condoms, but I did find a pocket knife, an iPod, and money here and there. We always held on to stuff, just in case we got a call. Honestly, I mainly found a lot of dust because of those fog machines. During one of the overnighters, a lady tried to tip me, but I kindly told her we weren't allowed to take tips. She was quite drunk and decided that putting cash down my shirt was a good idea. My manager looked at me, shaking his head and said, "Well, you gotta take that now." I think that was the only time I got a tip, lol. One of my favorite things about working there was finding the hidden code names from former employees. My location eventually closed down, so all of those names are now lost. We made so many good memories that I don't think I can ever forget.